Hola. What is up? How you guys doing? It's been a while. It's been a while since I streamed here on the main channel. I feel like, I've done premieres, but actual direct live, it's been a while. Want to check in with you guys. Want to talk about the story that I thought was pretty messed up. The guy was let's see here. Pull up my notes. Amazing, it's gone. There we go. 22 years old. He was serving a 12-month sentence for second-degree theft, and I think he was 2 weeks, 2 weeks away from being released. Before all this happened, a father of two. How you guys been? What's up? What's up? I feel like the gray hair is coming in more. Seems like it. I don't know. What's up, Purple Girl Scout, Red Base, Oaks, Lutfi, Bethany, Chola. All right. I don't know what's been going on lately too, man. Lost subscribers. Subscribers are down. Viewers are down. We're getting like 200, 300 people now. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I took a break from like kind of streaming because, well, personal stuff, but the numbers were down too. And it's like, is it even worth streaming? Might as well just like pre-record a video, I guess. Maybe it's the topics that I'm covering. I don't know. Maybe YouTube's purging stuff. Not really sure what's going on. My shadow ban. Chaos, thank you for the 25 months membership. Appreciate that. Is the channel dead? What happened? What's up, DC Girl Scout ASCH? How you doing? Ooh. Still like weird congestion stuff. Still dying. Because you made another channel, I stopped following you. Doesn't make any sense. You're here right now, aren't you? The second channel is the chases, and we haven't even been having chases lately. So it leaves me with more notifications. Too much to follow, really? So you only watch one channel on YouTube? You don't watch any other channels? You watch one channel? The Maya trial, yeah, the Maya trial was happening. A lot of people watching that. There's some sort of eye drop trial now, which the verdict is happening, and I feel like there was another trial too. I don't know. There was something else going on. Oh, by the way, so reminder, on the 16th is the sentencing for Tim Faraday, the boy in the box trial. So I think it's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be here. We're going to be streaming it. They're going to do his sentencing plus Tracy. They're going to give Tracy a date for the trial. So let me just block this cocksucker right now. Let me start with that. We'll start with that. How about we start with that? We'll start with that. All right. Here you go. Go follow that. All right. Now, let's start with Daniel, man. So this is freaking crazy, dude. Lady Butterfly, thank you so much for the 17 months. Appreciate that. Just glad to see you. I know you're disgruntled, Colin, from Discord and stuff, and you sent me all those emails, so I already know where you're coming from. So I'll just block you now in advance. Daniel Williams, 22, dies after being tied up, beaten, and essayed for 2 days by a prison gang. So like, and the thing that they said to the terminology is they say he was sold out. So some other, and I don't know how this prison lingo, all this stuff works out. There's this guy we're going to watch. Let's see, I pulled up his channel. There's the family. I used to watch this guy too. I don't know why I'm unsubbed. I thought I was subbed. I used to watch him sometimes, but this is somebody, that channel Lockdown 23 and 1. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that. We're going to check out some of his insight as well. Father to an Alabama inmate has died after days of being tortured, beaten, and assaulted by a prison gang just 2 weeks before he was due to be released, his family claims. Not only that, the family is saying that the warden lied. They try to say that he passed away of an overdose. And when he was in the hospital, on like a ventilator or like life support, they would not allow the family to see him. It's shady as hell. So he was serving a 12-month sentence for second-degree theft at Staton Correctional Facility in Elmore, Alabama, when a warden found him unresponsive in his dorm October 22nd. The father of two was declared brain dead upon his arrival at the hospital and provided palliative care, his family said in a GoFundMe campaign. He was taken off life support on November 5th and died 4 days later. Wow. The warden allegedly told his family that Williams suffered from an OD, but insiders at the prison told Alabama Political Reporter that he had been kidnapped, bound, assaulted, and sold out by another inmate for 2 or 3 days. That's some messed up ish, huh? I think that like these people too, like they see that somebody is almost out of prison and they want to F with you. There's a picture of him. Young guy. Probably took advantage of that. This is inside one of the rooms in ADOC, Staton Correctional Facility. We're going to look at some of the videos too, some of the history and issues that this prison has had. This is one of his last posts. Let me see. Can I click it? It says, "How everybody doing? I ain't got much longer left. Pray for me. I'm coming home better than I was before, drug free. It's been a crazy ride. 3 different prisons now. It's almost over." That's crazy, man. All right, let's keep going because there's more. At least 12 prison cops at Staton Correctional Facility, along with the adjoining Elmore and Draper prisons, have been arrested for assaulting inmates in the last 2 years. Federal investigators have also been probing the state of Alabama and its prisons since the scathing lawsuit was lodged by the Department of Justice in 2019. Another picture of Daniel. Found unresponsive October 22nd. He was taken off life support on November 5th and died 4 days later. So like the thing with this too, it's not like they contacted the family and they were like, "Hey, I don't know what you want to do. Do you want to take him off life support?" They made the decision themselves. Okay, they made the decision to take him off life support. His family was not notified of his hospitalization until 3 days later on October 25th. Then they visited him at the facility and observed bruises and injuries indicative of assault on his body. Williams' picture with his child. I mean, poor kids too. The hospital removed Williams from life support on November 5th. He was then transferred to a medical ward. So they just said, I don't know what kind of like did they just deem it like it was hopeless or something? They literally take him off life support and just send him back to the facility. I mean, are they part of the cover-up? Is that part of a cover-up? They sent him back to a medical ward, take him off life support on November 9 and died shortly after his arrival. They sent him to die. The prisoner's father, Terry Williams, and stepmother, Taylor Bostick, alleged that their son's body showed signs of physical abuse, including that his hands were bound. The couple claims Williams' doctor described the alleged abuse as unlike anything he had ever seen throughout his 30-year medical career. Williams was taken to Jackson Hospital after having suffered a reported drug overdose at the prison. His family was not notified of his hospitalization until 3 days later on October 25th. Then they visited him at the facility and observed bruises and injuries indicative of assault on his body. Bostick told the newspaper, "We went to see him. He's beaten and bruised up, and you can tell where his hands were bound. I mean, you can tell it's obviously not an overdose." And that's when Terry called the warden and asked him why the hell he told us that his son is dying from an OD. It was obviously assault. And all he could say after that is it's under investigation. In addition to the bruising and apparent binding, Bostick claims a nurse told her and Mr. Williams that there were visible handprint bruises on Daniel's legs. The family said they asked for a rape kit to be conducted, but claims the request was initially denied. I mean, what? The alleged hospital staff finally examined him on November 1st after they got a lawyer involved. The results of the kit are as yet unclear. And I don't know if you saw too. There's this really popular YouTuber. He was getting some criticism. Kai sent because he was doing this skit in prison where, if you look at his page right now, he's doing like this skit. I haven't personally watched it, but it's very popular. And he's this huge YouTuber streamer. He's on YouTube and Twitch and everything. He's been doing the skits in prison. And some of the criticisms is people saying that like he's like making it seem fun for kids. Like kind of like, because I'm sure he has obviously a young crowd, making it seem like this prison stuff is fun. I don't have any problem with what he's doing. I think it's satire. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I don't know. It just made me think about this guy, 22 years old. That's a long time too. 12 months for theft? What did he steal? Did he have a history? I don't know. The hospital removed Williams from life support on November 5th, and the 22-year-old was transferred to a medical ward in Kilby Correctional Center on November 9th. He died shortly after his arrival. Mr. Williams and Bostick say they are now committed to trying to get justice for Williams, who will leave behind a son and daughter, both aged 1. The outraged father said, "We've got to stop this. If you can save a couple of lives, you know I'm thankful." Terry Williams, his father, also said that he wasn't able to raise enough money to bury his son. Instead, he will be cremated. He wrote on social media, "I will let everyone know the date and time once they tell me. Daniel, Terry Williams, fly high, son. Keep mom and granny company. Justice will be served. I love you, son." Another picture. See, this is the mother, Daniel and his mom. Father of 2 declared brain dead. That is crazy, bro. The Alabama Department of Corrections said in a statement on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, an inmate death was reported at Kilby Correctional Facility. Inmate Daniel Terry Williams was found unresponsive in the healthcare unit. Medical staff attempted to revive him, but they were unable to resuscitate him, and he was pronounced deceased by the attending physician. On Sunday, October 22nd, 2023, a possible inmate-on-inmate assault was reported at the Staton Correctional Facility. Inmate Williams was discovered unresponsive in his dorm and was transported to the healthcare unit. Medical personnel treated Williams and monitored his condition. The decision was made to transfer him to an area hospital for further evaluation and treatment. He remained at the hospital until the family decided to remove him from life support. Oh, this is the family here. I thought the family had no knowledge because the family said they didn't know he was hospitalized. So until he was out of there. Excuse me. He was transferred to the Kilby Correctional Facility for long-term comfort care where he subsequently died. That's weird. Staton Correctional Facility, where Williams is being held on has a fraught history. Okay. In August 2023, Correctional Sergeant Devlin Williams was found guilty of assaulting a defenseless prisoner in Staton Correctional Facility in 2018. He repeatedly punched and kicked an incarcerated man in the main hallway at the Staton and struck him with a collapsed baton. Damn. Sergeant Williams was just one of 12 officers who had been arrested, prosecuted, or convicted for assaulting inmates within the Elmore Staton Draper Prison Complex in the last 24 months. In July 2023, Sergeant DeMarcus Sanders was charged with murder after inmate Ruben Murray was killed at Elmore Correctional Facility, which adjoined Staton. Murray was allegedly taken to a holding cell at the back of the prison and was beaten up. Officers were allegedly told to ignore his pleas for help. Damn, they're all up in it, huh? He died at Jackson Hospital later that day. And in October 2023, Correctional Officer Lanateria Hasbury, 29, was arrested for bringing 170 grams of marijuana into the Staton Correctional Facility in Alabama and selling it to inmates for $1,000. Wait, 170 grams for $1,000? Okay, maybe for 170 grams, I guess. Hasbury was charged with promoting prison contraband and using her official, oh, it was a chick, her official position for personal gain. Damn, I wonder if she was like sleeping with the inmates too. 2 days later, inmate Timothy Walden died from a suspected overdose at Staton Correctional Facility Center The video showed him hunched over and unconscious on the toilet before he was found. And at another Alabama prison in the same week, jailed Charles Harris died from a suspected OD. I don't know, man. Are these cops, injecting and putting stuff in them? I don't know. To make it look like an OD? This follows an ongoing federal investigation to the violence in Alabama prisons. In 2019, the Department of Justice released a report alleging prison conditions violated inmates' civil rights. The report alleged that the state did not take enough measures to prevent inmate-on-inmate violence and sexual abuse, failure to protect them from excessive force by staff, and failure to provide safe conditions in confinement. The DOJ sued Alabama for its unsafe prison conditions in 2020. Damn. They also allegedly failed to protect prisoners from the use of excessive force by security staff and by failing to provide safe physical conditions of confinement. As part of the lawsuit, they inspected Alabama's 13 men's prisons over 24 days and arranged interviews with 1,000 inmates. The Equal Justice Initiative, a nonprofit organization that advocates for inmates' rights, has branded Williams' death as tragic and preventable, alleging that cases like this occur all too frequently in Alabama's prisons. Wow. All right, we're going to read some more of that. Let's look at a news clip. Give me a second to take a break. Breathe.
He makes some goofy faces.
Daniel Williams' mother and fiance have fond memories of a young man lost too soon.
He was a goofball, was what he was. Always aggravating.
They were notified last week by the warden at Staton Prison in Elmore County that the 22-year-old was in a hospital for an overdose. But when they rushed to be by his side, they were shocked by his condition.
I went to the hospital.
What's the fiance?
And the nurses told
Amber Williams, Daniel's fiance.
Me that he was assaulted and beaten really badly. And when I went into the room, he had bruises all down his arm, like down to his fingers. He had bruises over here. He had cuts up and down. He had bruises on his legs, and it was bad.
His father says he had very little brain function left, so they made the difficult decision to take him off life.
Wait, the family? Okay.
Says he had very little.
He had bruises on his legs, and it was bad.
His father says he had very little brain function left, so they made the difficult decision to take him off life support.
Okay, so the family took him off life support. I was wrong about that.
I called the warden and I cussed him out. I was like, dude, you know this is not an overdose case. You know exactly what happened. How's this crap gonna happen like this? Well, it's under investigation right now. And that's the last time I even talked to the warden.
The Alabama Department of Corrections sent us a statement saying a possible inmate-on-inmate incident was reported and the DOC's Law Enforcement Services Division is investigating. Carla Crowder with Alabama Appleseed says what happened to Daniel is all too common.
The brutality, the violence, the dysfunction, it's not an aberration anymore. It's a feature of the Alabama Department of Corrections. It is our system. And so the kind of horrific deaths that we've seen, what happened to Mr. Williams, is not even uncommon anymore.
Now the Williams family is trying to figure out how to bury this young man who was scheduled to be released from prison on the day he died.
I set up a GoFundMe account to get him cremated. It's like $1,000. Okay. I was wanting to bury him by my mom, but that's like $7,000. I can't afford that.
His fiance is struggling with knowing their daughter will have no memories of her father.
How am I supposed to tell her about her daddy? Like, why isn't he here? Why didn't he ever come home?
I grew up without my dad, and it sucked. So I couldn't even imagine.
In Jefferson County, Lisa Crane, WVTM 13.
Damn.
A Jefferson County family is coming forward after the tragic loss of their son.
Yeah, that family is desperate for answers after a 22-year-old son and father died in an Alabama prison yesterday.
They say that he was beaten, drugged, and raped, but the warden at the prison told them that he overdosed.
WVTM 13's Lisa Crane has more from the family and what the DOC is saying about that case today.
He makes some goofy faces.
Daniel Williams' mother and fiance have fond memories of a young man lost too soon.
He was a goofball, was what he was. Always aggravating.
Yeah, we just saw it. Okay. I'm going to see a little bit of this guy too, some of his thoughts.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Lockdown.
Lockdown.
Read this article that breaks down exactly where and how all this went down, and of course, I'll give my 2 cents at the end. Now, before I read this article, let me play a quick clip from me 3 years ago. I named what I believe was the most dangerous top 10 prisons in the country. What state do y'all think I'm about to name? Number 1 on the list. Alabama, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alabama, one of the most dangerous states to do time in this freaking country is Alabama. But the main reason why I picked Alabama is because of all the sexual assaults. But the article says an Alabama inmate has died days after being tortured. Wake up, he might still be breathing, but he's brain dead. It says at least 12
The hospital.
inmates telling, and that's that a rape kit medical them prisons. And you wouldn't expect stuff like this to happen on a 12-month sentence. And that means, he went through the court process, which he was in jail probably for a few months, then got sentenced to the 12 months. So he was probably only in prison for like 6 months. Yeah. How could something like this happen to someone so fast? Well, let me paint a quick picture for you.
That's true. And you think like a short sentence like that, a year, less than a year? I mean, compared to what other people get, you're thinking, okay, you can just keep your head down, get out.
Maybe he messed up right off the jump, telling people, man, I shouldn't even be here. I only got 4 months left. Why am I in prison? I'm just painting a picture here. Maybe the wrong person heard that and said, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this guy. I've seen plenty of videos where, younger, weaker looking white guys are being controlled by the other inmate out of pure fear. Ain't even because of a habit. They just don't want to die. That's what it boils down to in some of these prisons. But also, he could have.
I didn't think about that. You should not be telling these people probably you're getting out soon. I figured they probably knew, but maybe I guess that's a valid point.
Have had a habit, came in there, said he was going to party the little bit of months in prison that he had left, ran up a debt with the wrong guy, couldn't pay it back, and somehow became homeboy's property in a sense. He said he's going to sell him off to everybody before he goes home. Probably had no idea that he was going to die from it. So there's so many different scenarios on how this could have started. But one thing's for sure, they prey on the weak. If I were to guess, he didn't have nobody on his side, no friends, no nothing. Another thing that kind of shocks me as well is they said this is a dorm setting. All right, I've done time in a...
Inmates don't have access to the people's charges. Okay. So it's best to, if you're in that situation, to stay quiet. Especially if you're about to get out, because people get jealous, right? People get real jealous and kind of feel some type of way you're getting out.
Dorms are filled with hundreds of people with no cell doors.
And that's the picture that I put in the thumbnail. And it was in this article. This is literally one of the dorms there where it's just a bunch of people, man. You would think maybe like, oh, you're just in like some like 1 or 2 people in a cell. No, it's just like open. I don't know.
It's just a big open bay. And I've seen the majority of prison snitches in those type of facilities. They'll tell on a frog farting in the wind. So for something like this to be happening for days tells you a lot about the population as well. I told y'all in the past, man, when situations like this happen, the best thing for people to do is to look the other way. You do not want to be a part of it, especially, what they said to the reporters, that it was a gang. If you went against them in any way, shape, or form, they're going to steamroll you as well. You're trying to go home just like old Daniel was. And that's why people just look the other way. If they're in your way, then you just step over them and keep it moving. I mean, yeah, you could be that good Samaritan, but you're running the risk of getting thrown into the mix, possibly losing your life. It's just like out here in the streets, you see someone robbing the bank, you're going to run in there full speed, try to tackle them. Chances are the majority of people, they're going to get down on the ground, throw out their wallet, cell phone, whatever they ask for. And the people outside, they ain't running in, they're hiding behind the bushes. Sometimes you just got to play your position. And in prison, when shit's going down, your position is to not be around. But another serious note is the guy had bruising on the inside of his legs. So that tells me that someone was trying to pry his legs open. Why else would there be handprints, bruises on the inside? So the bruisings right there is almost a guaranteed fact that he was probably sexually assaulted. The warden said they're investigating the situation, and who knows? The way that this story's been spreading throughout social media, they might really get to the truth. And if I were to guess, if I were to bet it all right now, those inmates saying that he was tied up and used for days is telling the truth. I'm a gambling man, and that's why I bet it all on. But my condolences go out to his family. You know, it's a sad story.
All right, so that's Lockdown 23 and 1. The link is in the description for the video and channel. All right, so let's continue on. I thought it would be interesting to get some of his insight on that. So it also goes to say here, let's see what else they got here. The EGA also argues that in many cases, medical emergencies are dismissed by prison staff as intoxicated or being the inmates on fault. The advocacy group claims that oftentimes deaths could have been prevented if the person had been treated in time. In February this year, the scathing lawsuit lodged by the family of an inmate claimed that he froze to death at Walker County Jail in Alabama after he was kept naked in a concrete cell, and believe he was also placed in a freezer or other fridge environment. Yo, what is going on in these prisons? What in the heck? Anthony Don Mitchell, 33, arrived at a hospital emergency room with a body temperature of 72 degrees, wildly below the average 98.6 degrees. An emergency room doctor who tried unsuccessfully to revive Mitchell wrote, "I do believe hypothermia was the ultimate cause of death," according to the lawsuit filed by Mitchell's mother in federal court. Jail video shows Mitchell, who was mentally ill, was kept naked in a concrete floored isolation cell. Wow. The suit speculated that Mitchell was also placed in the jail's kitchen's walk-in freezer or similar fridged environment and left there for hours because his temperature was so low. On the other end of the spectrum, in December 2022, another federal lawsuit was filed by the family of a deceased Alabama inmate who claimed died after being baked in his prison cell. Thomas Lee Rutledge, 44, died of hypothermia on hypo versus hyper for hot, I guess, on December 7th, 2020, in the mental health ward at William E. Donaldson Correctional Facility and in Bessemer, Alabama. Rutledge was found unresponsive with a body temperature of 109 in a cell reported to be between 101 and 104. The suit accused prison staff, wardens, and contractors of deliberate indifference and malice in death. Wow. Holy moly. So he made, I guess that was his last Facebook post, October 15. It might have been his last Facebook post. It's unclear how he was able to access the internet while in prison. A lot of them have access. Man. So this is the fundraiser here, which they've raised $15K. The family's GoFundMe. So, okay. Oh yeah, this is the Alabama Department of Corrections, Staton Correctional Facility. Joseph Headley, that's the guy that was mentioned in the article. That's the warden. These other guys don't want their faces shown, I guess. Got a question mark. So the conflicting accounts of what happened to Daniel, they first found out about Daniel's hospitalization. Headley called him and said that Daniel suffered an OD, but once they arrived at the hospital, it became apparent that it was not an OD. Instead, he was assaulted. Bostick, Daniel's stepmother, and sources that APR spoke with say that Daniel was bound, assaulted, and sold out by another incarcerated person on or around October 22nd, essentially kidnapped for 2 or 3 days. And when I spoke to the warden myself, he said it's obviously an OD. They disagree with that. Headley told them that Daniel was taken to the hospital on Sunday, October 22nd. However, Terry and Bostick weren't notified by Headley until Wednesday, October 25th, that Daniel was at the hospital. But an incarcerated individual also called and told the family that Daniel was both found and hospitalized on the same day, October 25th. Bostick said she and Terry were informed that Daniel was found in dorm E1, which is not his dorm, and he was tied up, beaten, and rented out for 2 or 3 days. Bostick said Daniel was gray when the incarcerated individuals found him. One of the inmates found him and took him up to the office Wednesday at 11:04, Terry said, but the warden is saying it happened Sunday. We didn't get a phone call until Wednesday. Bostick said that both the hospital nurse and doctor said there was clearly signs of abuse. The doctor said that there was visible handprint bruises between Daniel's legs. He had never seen anything like it in his 30 years of profession. So wow. Taylor also mentioned that he was only given 30 minutes to see his son each visit, and he was not allowed to take his phone into Daniel's room or take pictures. Terry said 5 guards were watching over Daniel, who was brain dead. APR asked Terry what they were doing, and Terry said on their phones. Family struggling to get more information. Terry and Bostick said that they have attempted to get more information from the prison, facility, and the hospital, but entities keep passing the responsibility between each other. Terry said that when he asked the facility for information, they're told to ask the hospital. And when he asked the hospital for information, he's told to ask the facility. During instances of incarcerated people being hospitalized in Alabama, the hospitals primarily listen to the instructions of the warden. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the hospital's on their hands and knees for instruction from the warden? Don't they have an oath to the patients? The fuck? So they're almost in cahoots. Kind of. That is wild to me. During instances of incarcerated people being hospitalized in Alabama, the hospitals primarily listen to the instructions of the warden as it pertains to the incarcerated because they are still under the custody of the state. If I ask them anything, they tell me I need to talk to the warden. Bruh, I would be pissed. I would be so frustrated. Like as a parent, so F. Terry has also, you're going to need an attorney for sure. Terry has also obtained an attorney and said the hospital's attorney is not responding to the inquiries of his attorney. Bostick revealed that when they initially arrived at the hospital, she and Terry asked for a rape kit. Still, the hospital denied them. I just never heard of no ish like that. I didn't know that's how it works. They said it was too late to conduct an examination. However, on November 1st, the hospital decided to conduct a rape kit after the lawyer got involved. Daniel not coming back from this state. Terry said he was informed that Daniel would not come back from the state he was in now, and that if his son does make it, he will have to be taken care of for the rest of his life. Terry and Bostick were also given a letter at the hospital from the prison stating that Daniel would be given palliative care if he lived and would have to finish his sentence at the prison as his release date was moved back to February 9th. Daniel has 2 children, a son and a daughter, both 1 year old. Okay, that's it. Wow. This was 10 months ago.
Department of Corrections, a Huntsville man serving a 60-month sentence in prison for a drug conviction was found dead in his cell shortly after Christmas. Brandon Scott Taylor was found unresponsive in his bed at the Staton Correctional Facility down in Elmore County on December 27th. Now, we're told that the 39-year-old was immediately taken to the healthcare unit where he died later. ADOC is looking into the circumstances surrounding Taylor's death and will release more information once that investigation is complete.
Officials in Alabama have until next week to improve safety.
That's from 4 years ago.
Throughout the state's troubled prison system. The Justice Department demanded an overhaul.
That's a good question. Yeah, why was his release date pushed back, Perriette? Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying. 828 Caroline says, heard of the lady that was looking for her son and turned into a missing person report, and the popo knew nothing. I'm going to find out that an off-duty police officer hit the jailer and they buried him. Wow. Prisons are a jungle. Man.
All after an investigation found conditions unconstitutional, violating the 8th Amendment protections against cruel and unusual punishment. Chep Pegues takes us inside.
These are just some of the 2,600 photographs taken inside Alabama's prisons. Images of horrid conditions. Inmates who were killed by another prisoner's hand or their own, like Betty Head's son, who died after trying to hang himself in this decrepit cell block.
Prison system killed my only son, Billy Thornton.
31-year-old Billy Thornton was just months away from finishing a 6-year sentence for statutory rape. Inmates told her that her mentally ill son would cry for help but be routinely ignored. So he would call for help and no
For rape?
one would
They would
respond.
ignore him. Let's keep going. Yes, sir.
They would ignore him. Alabama prisons have the highest suicide rate in the country, 3 times the national average, 15 in 15 months.
Things are really out of control and need to be reined in.
Maria Morris of the Southern Poverty Law Center says mentally ill inmates, even those on suicide watch, are held in solitary confinement where they have little contact with officers.
What that basically means is they're warehousing them. They're sticking them into segregation units and letting them suffer, in some cases letting them commit suicide.
But it's not just the mentally ill who are suffering. A 2-year Justice Department investigation found conditions throughout the entire Alabama prison system are unconstitutional, and that an excessive amount of violence, sexual abuse, and prisoner deaths happen on a regular basis, making the state's prisons a deadly place to work as well.
I am thankful that I walk out alive.
This worker, who has to be fully disguised for fear of being fired for speaking out, told us the situation is dire.
We need more mental health workers. We need more officers. More people are going to die.
State prison officials say there are approximately 1,400 officers, about half of what's needed to oversee a prison population of 16,000.
This has been a problem that's been 30 years in the making.
The commissioner of the Alabama Department of Corrections, Jeff Dunn, says $125 million has already been appropriated to raise staffing levels, curb violence, and increase attention to inmates' mental health. Why should people think that things are going to change?
In the last couple of years, we've seen, first of all, the coming together of several partners who are committed to fixing this.
The DOJ report said that the state is deliberately indifferent to the risks that prisoners face. Those words must sting.
They do, and we've embraced that challenge.
The Southern Poverty Law Center has sued the Alabama Department of Corrections. A federal judge is forcing the prison system to make changes. And like the courts, the DOJ has issued an ultimatum of its own.
So they just got like a whole open thing. It's just like these open wards just full of prisoners, I guess, just open.
Change or be forced to comply. Too late to save Billy Thornton.
Why did y'all kill Junior? Why did you all kill Junior?
Jeff Pegues.
Might have found out he was a rapist. Those people don't take kindly to that at all. I mean, I don't know. State inmate from Mobile stabbed, killed in prison.
Tonight, a Mobile
5
teenager
years
already
ago.
serving time for an attempted carjacking is now facing more serious problems. As News 5's Bill Riles reports, 18-year-old Michael Williams could now be facing the death penalty for a deadly prison stabbing.
The Alabama Department of Corrections says prison officials at the Staton Correctional Facility in Elmore County found a 60-year-old inmate suffering a stab wound at about 2:30 in the morning. Barry Reynolds was serving 5 years on a drug conviction from Mobile County. He died of his injuries. Prison officials say 18-year-old Michael Williams of Mobile will be charged in that death. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Williams is one of the teenagers charged in an attempted carjacking and shooting that caused the victim to lose one of her eyes.
Oh my gosh.
The shooting happened 3 years ago in
What the heck?
2015 here at the intersection of Monterey and Doffin Street. Williams was only 15 years old.
So this kid stabbed somebody in the eye? Oh my gosh. And then he goes to kill some other guy in prison. Wow.
Of her eyes. That shooting happened 3 years ago in 2015 here at the intersection of Monterey and Dobbin Street. Williams was only 15 years old. The victim in that shooting, Maria Williamson, lost her eye. Prosecutors ended up charging Michael Williams as an adult for the attempted murder of Williamson. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison. But the Department of Corrections says because the stabbing death happened inside prison, it's considered a capital offense, meaning if Williams is convicted of the murder, he could face the death penalty. In Mobile.
Over here smiling and laughing too. Wow.
In Mobile.
Over here joking and cackling.
Bill Riles, WKRG.
Wow, I didn't know Alabama's prisons were like that bad.
An Elmore County corrections officer and 2 prisoners are charged with the death of an inmate. The Alabama Department of Corrections says Sergeant DeMarcus Sanders and inmates Frederick Gooden and Stefano
Right? Don't commit crimes in Alabama. Holy crap.
Are now charged in the death of Reuben Murray. Murray was killed last night after he reportedly got into a fight with an officer. He was then left alone to await transport to the hospital when the 2 inmates gained access to where he was, leaving Murray unresponsive. Sanders has since resigned from his position.
It's Alabama too.
AL.com is reporting that a corrections officer and 2 inmates are charged with murder after a state inmate died. Now, according to the Alabama Department of Corrections, Sergeant DeMarcus Sanders and inmates Frederick Gooden and Stefano Hampton are all accused of killing 38-year-old inmate Reuben James Murray at the Elmore Correctional Facility. Prison officials say the corrections officer resigned after he was arrested. ADOC says the inmate was involved in a physical altercation with a guard outside of his dorm on Wednesday. The 2 other inmates got to Murray in a holding area. He was found unresponsive and taken to a hospital where he later died.
Wow. So it's like these officers, some of the people involved. I can't even show this one. This one's too graphic. Yeah, like I don't want to get the stream taken down. Video from inside Ale prison involving 2 prisoners threatening a third. I don't even know why they're recording this stuff. They got like video and everything of the crimes being committed in there. Anyway, yeah, just wanted to, I guess, talk about this a little bit. This, I guess, somewhat depressing story. Young guy, life, not only his life, his family's and his kids over theft. That's crazy. And I don't know, will they hold these people responsible? These prisoners that did that, are they going to get caught? Will they be charged? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. And yeah, maybe these parents can sue. These parents should sue this facility. What happened to those 6 police officers that killed? Can't think of his name. The one where the street camera caught the special team force killing. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Have you heard of Dakota Collins case? Little boy who was kept in the attic of his house. No, I haven't heard of that. Oh, Tyree Nichols. There you go. Harry Potter, how you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Kitty. Yeah. Red base. I thought there was actually an update with Tyree Nichols. I thought somebody had sent me something. Were they charged? Let me see. Tyree Nichols. That was pretty wild. Oh, so there's a... Let's see. Former Memphis police officer Preston Hemphill won't face charges. I guess one of them is not going to face charges. 5 Memphis police officers were fired. Okay. Okay, so as far as going to trial, So Darius, Demetrius, Justin, Emmett are slated to head to state criminal trial in mid-August 2024. In addition to the trial date, Jones set 3 other dates to make sure the case stays on track. Discovery is slated to be completed by December 4th. All written motions are due by February 2nd, 2024, and hearings on those motions will be held before June 14, 2024. Federal civil rights conspiracy and obstruction offenses, and a trial is scheduled for May 2024. So some upcoming stuff, I guess. Let's see what else. So, and that OnlyFans murder lady, Courtney Clemens, they're supposed to be giving her a date this week for when the trial is going to start. I thought it was this week. Somebody told me it was this week. I haven't seen anything yet. They're going to give her supposed to be giving her a trial date. And then also Alec Murdoch, the financial trial, the financial whatever, it was dated for this month, at the end of this month, November, but I don't know. They're trying to get the date pushed back, and they're trying to say that they can't have a fair juror pull or whatever. So I don't think it's gonna happen this month. Yeah, he's dead. Glove girl, he's dead. Katrina, 33 months. Holy crap. Thank you so much for your support. Support the channel by hitting the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. You can share it. If you can share it, it'll be appreciated. Thank you. Let me just make sure I get everybody else too. Veronica, thank you for the 11 months. Hit the like button. Lex Lux, thank you for the 12 months. Hey, Mel, we love you. Bloop. Emmy, 11 months. Appreciate you, all you do, Mel. TT Cross, 8 months. Ride or die. Mel, we love you. Hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you, TT. Annie T, thank you for the membership. Kelly E, thank you for the 16 months. I've been watching everything always. Thank you. Was that this stream? Did you do the... I don't know if that was this stream, but it says it was. Elizabeth, thank you for the membership gifts. Appreciate that. 5 gifts. Lady Butterfly, 17 months. Hey, so glad to see you. ASCH 0630, 24 months. Thank you so much. You're the best. Keep your head up. Raging Cajun, thank you for the 8 months. As much love from the dirty South, Louisiana. Proud. Hey, Melissa B, 6 months. Love mug Mel. Thank you. Oh, cool. Awesome. And Chaos, 25 months. Holy crap. OG too. Miss you, Mel. Miss you too. Boone has a new lawyer? Oh, really? Will she actually get a trial? Sarah Boone, suitcase murder. Also, let's see, Sarah Boone. Also, what's that guy's name? Alan. I can't think of the guy's name. The Delphi murders. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I've been looking at it a little bit, but Richard Allen. There's something weird going on. It feels like there's some sort of corrupt shit going on with the judge. And in that area, something's really sus with that whole case. And they look like they're kind of mistreating that guy in prison. I know he has some really serious accusations, but I don't know, bro. The Wilson Dallas, thank you for the 14 months. Hey, and Ashley Hobson, thank you for the 7 months. Love you, man. Love you too. Perriette, 7 months. Amazing. Love you, man. Thanks for all that you do for us. You'll always make our days better and updates. Thanks. I waited for that OG time. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. If the OnlyFans model has a jury trial, they'll probably throw the books at her. Hoke said, I've seen him surrounded by like 9 cops. I wonder if they're starving him or something. I don't know what they're doing to that guy. Or beating his ass in prison. He looks completely different from when he went in there. Before he went in there to when he went in there. I wonder if they're like, I don't know, they're torturing him in there or like doing light deprivation or some sensory deprivation. I don't know. You getting Harry Potter ads now? Just because I said Harry Potter. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to check on some of these cases. Maybe that's what it is. Do people want some of these? Maybe they want some of the popular cases or whatever. I know I haven't been too active. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna head out for now for a little bit. Damn, I can't believe it gets so dark so early now. It's tripping me out. It feels weird. It's 4:52 and it's like dark, but it's also the weather's really bad. It's been raining all day. And by the way, with the second channel, to simplify things, the second channel is pretty much just for chases. After I was doing some other stuff there as well as chases, it's just gonna be for chases. And then everything else is over here to keep it as simple as possible. So I think I'll have more notifications here. Don't have to worry about like trying to like squeeze things in because there's a chase and I don't have anything to do. So everything else is here. The second channel is chases. Yes, Annalisa says, Mel, you're going to be live on the 16th for the Boy in the Box. Timmy Boy, I will be. It's in the afternoon around 1:30, so I will be live. So that's going to be on Thursday, right there. Thursday. Oh, it's raining so hard. I like the rain. I was like, shh. Wait, I don't even know. How do I? Not that, is it? I don't know what the command is. Let me just put the link in the chat. It's live police chases, iCkEdMeL. Super long, right? I screwed up by changing the channel name on that channel, I think. Took me out of the algorithm, so now I got to get back in there. Amethyst Kingdom says, Mel, did you hear about the mom in Louisville who killed her two sons? Oh, vaguely, like kind of like mom kills two sons. Oh my God.
Boys!
Oh Lord.
Peanut!
A mom in Kentucky is behind.
Boys! Peanut!
A mom in Kentucky is behind bars charged with murdering her two young sons. We're talking with Colonel Alex Payne, Chief Deputy at the Sheriff's Office, about the investigation so far. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A horrible situation to talk to you about right now in Kentucky. A 32-year-old woman, Tiffany Lucas, is accused of shooting her own children. Bullitt County deputies arrived at a home in Shepherdsville, that's south of Louisville, around 11 a.m. on Wednesday. And that is where two boys, ages 6 and 9, were shot. A neighbor reportedly found the children with gunshot wounds in a bedroom, called 911. The boys were taken by ambulance to a children's hospital with a police escort, but they both died. The Bullitt County judge set a $2 million bond for Lucas on Thursday, saying that she is a danger to others. Lucas is charged with 2 counts of murder. She's going to be back in court next week. I want to bring in right now a very special guest to talk about this. One of the members of the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office, Colonel Alex Payne, Chief Deputy at the Sheriff's Office, is with us. Colonel, thank you so much for taking the time. Really difficult case. I really just want to start off, how is the community reacting to this? How is the family of the boys reacting to this?
As you would expect, in shock, a lot of grief.
Wait, so is she dead or alive? It said murder suicide.
horrific act. Just as
this is a different story. The one I'm looking at.
you would expect any community, I guess, across this country to react to something like this. It's shocking. It's something that you never want to confront, but unfortunately we have. However, we have a strong community here in Bullitt County, and they're supporting the loved ones.
The hell of a mugshot. I mean, was she high on some shit? She drugged, or just doesn't feel nothing, emotionless, expressionless, zombie like. Jeez.
Family of these young children.
In your career in this community, have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I want to get into it, try to understand it. First, let's start from the beginning. How was there a witness that told police that Lucas did this?
There, we have a witness that was located there on scene. We're still into that part of the investigation. We'll still be hammering that out, but there were statements evidently that were made there on scene. To our recollection right now, the individual that is responsible basically went next door to a neighbor's house and was eventually, there was a husband and a wife there, and she was actually in their driveway, laying down in their driveway when they came across her. The husband ended up going inside the house, locating the boys, and immediately coming out and calling 911. And
just in the chat says she has previous drug charges.
That's when the police.
So he found his kids like that. The husband
and EMS response occurred.
This witness was in the house when the shooting took place? Was this person injured at all? No.
There's no, as far as we know right now, there's actually, to our knowledge, at this point right now, no actual witness to the shooting itself.
Okay, because I think there was some reporting as almost.
Kitty in the chat says, rumor has it that she might try the I was possessed by a demon defense. Oh, Lord.
This person was an eyewitness to the shooting. That wouldn't be accurate.
No, it would not.
But this person does have knowledge about what happened.
Yes, they do.
First responders immediately come. They try to save the life. The boys died on the way to the, directly at the hospital. I mean, was there any chance? How severe were the wounds? If you could tell us, were they shot multiple times? Just trying to get a sense of what happened to them.
I can tell you this: the boys were shot in an area that would not be survivable for anybody. However, they were alive, to the best of our knowledge, when they were transported by EMS to the hospital and passed away while at the hospital.
And they weren't able to say anything, right?
No.
Were they shot multiple times?
That's yet to be determined. There's that'll come out during the autopsy, so I don't want to say.
Sure.
Not actually having that factual information in front of me, which I don't. But it wouldn't surprise me. But like I said, I don't. I can't factually state that right now.
Has the weapon been recovered? Has it been analyzed?
There was evidence there that it was recovered at the scene, and again, that's part of the ongoing investigation. All of that evidence will be analyzed.
So, in other words, and I know you're limited in what you can say, but the actual home is being processed for evidence currently.
Has been, yes, sir.
Wow, that is some ish.
And now looking for the answers to an unthinkable crime. Police say 2 young boys were killed by their own mother. Tiffany Lucas was arraigned in court this morning, charged with 2 counts of murder, and she will be staying behind bars on $2 million bond. Our Connor Steffen and photojournalist Eddie Hill take us to Bullitt County.
Just past the Jefferson-Bullitt County line,
You don't expect this, no matter where you live.
a community is grappling with the tough loss of 2 young lives. From neighbors who knew them,
Just put yourself in these people's place and think, well, it can happen to anyone. And
to officers who tried to rescue them.
I'll give you the cliche answer first. It's part of the job, but it's the part that you dread.
the part that you hope that you go your entire career and never see.
Officers arrived at this home on Bentwood Drive around 11 Wednesday morning, where they rushed 2 young boys just 6 and 9 years old to the hospital.
They were alive and remained so until they got to the hospital.
Police believe this woman, 32-year-old Tiffany Lucas, shot and killed her 2 sons. She's charged with 2 counts of murder. At this time, the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office is not sharing any information on the moments leading up to the shooting or what Lucas's motive may have been. Right now, she remains in custody at the Bullitt County Detention Center.
That's crazy. Crazy. All right, well, I'm going to head out for now, guys. Take care of a couple of things. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, on Thursday in the afternoon, we'll be live for the hearing. And I don't know, I'm just kind of winging this week. To see what happens. We're way overdue for chases too. It's been a couple days. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Please be safe. Take care of yourselves. Love you.